They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Anywho, hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House.
Hi, Tina Kravitz. Are you related to Mrs. Kravitz? Was that the next door neighbor in Bewitched?
Yes.
Anybody old enough to remember? What's up? This is Stars in the House. What is Stars in the House? Stars in the House is a live stream we began when everything shut down. Everything shut down, I think, March 13th. We began March 16th, I guess.
Yes, sir.
We began March 16th, and we do it for the Actors Fund because
well, wait, hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, March 16th. Yeah, because we were looking at some old videos, meaning like early on in the show when Patti and Colin were on. We're like, oh, that was like well into the run of the show. It was literally the second week of the show. But
it felt like we'd done a million shows at that point. It's so weird. So we raise money for the Actors Fund because the Actors Fund is for everybody in the arts, no matter what they do, not just the glamorous people that stand on zero, as we say, anybody, but ensemble people, yes, but also people backstage. So the hair people, the wardrobe people, the quick change, the dressers, the house managers, the box office personnel,
the stage managers,
music directors like myself, any musicians, sub-musicians, and then TV and film, whatever you do in TV and film, the caterers, the best boy, the gaffer. I don't even know what those jobs mean, but they are eligible if they go to Actors Fund and they can say, can you pay my rent? Can you buy me health insurance? Can you pay my doctor's bills? The Actors Fund will help.
That's right. In fact, we have quite a few. By the way, if you need help, go to actorsfund.org. If you're able to give, go to starsinthehouse.com or text Fund 2020 to 56512.
It's scrolling there. Do you see?
And you'll get a receipt from the Actors Fund. You'll forward that receipt to donations at starsinthehouse.com. And
then we'll read them out loud.
Or ourselves, we'll read them. And there were quite a few that came in yesterday. We had Beetlejuice on. We had this amazing matching donation. And Mr. Anonymous, who wanted the Merry Murderesses from the Chicago revival.
Wait, you have to be clear.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because you act like we told the story.
Irritated.
No, what I'm saying, are you trying to keep it a secret, or
no? I'm saying the person wants.
Oh, so there is somebody.
Say what it is.
So there's someone that's anonymous that said if we gather the original Merry Murderesses from the revival of Chicago, right, he will match donation. He'll match $3,500 in donations, which is amazing. So literally, all we have to do is call our Merry Murderesses, and we know them, and they're going to come on the show. And we're going to get a delicious matching donation.
And Marianne Lamb is on it. That was my secret sort of way of telling him that.
Oh, that's why I was like, we're saying Mr. Anonymous. Oh, yeah, he wants to be anonymous.
That's right.
So
and
Jay Kander.
The show every day.
John K. No, actually, no, he's not saying who he is.
But anyway, we had a matching donation last night, and there were so many we couldn't get to them all.
Hold on, before we do it, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I just feel bad because people are asking about Bagel. Okay, I just want to make sure we talk about him.
From Anne Ray Martin, who donated $10 last night. Thank you for doing this. Glad that Bagel is recovering well. And on that note, yes, we got a great Bagel report.
Let's talk about what Bagel is. It's so assumptive.
Those, you didn't let me finish.
Okay.
The marital
simmering marital tension. Anna Gassar called it in March.
Right out.
But I'm sorry, I'm standing by everything I've said so far. It's okay, go.
You know what, Glenn Scarpelli, you tell me who's winning this.
Because it just says, and Mr. Anonymous, like, are you talking to a drag queen? Is it a drag king? Okay, go.
Okay.
Let me hear.
So Bagel is our cat.
Bagel is one of our 4 dogs who got.
Looks kind of like. Sorry, Mandy.
Sorry, Mandy. That looks like little Bagel, and he, we think maybe from playing with the doggy, but for whatever reason, something happened to his back where a disc basically ruptured, and he couldn't move at all, like literally completely mobile.
It was really bad, and fortunately, we have pet insurance. We pay like $50 a month.
It's so worth it.
And I think the bill, if we didn't have it, pays like 90% of it. Otherwise, it'd be $14,000. And it's one of those things when you get the call from the vet, that any of you who are animal lovers, if you've been around long enough, you've had those kind of uncomfortable calls from a vet. But the vet was totally saying everything of like, I know you probably won't be able to do this.
Yeah, if you choose to have surgery.
Yeah.
Because it's so much money. Just an MRI itself is $3,000. Exactly. But we have pet insurance. So the amazing news is the surgery went great. Then we called last night and they told us that Bagel was resting comfortably.
He had eaten.
So cute. And then this morning he was able to stand on his own.
A little bit of help, and then this afternoon even better. We thought that we would have a video to show, but
Hasn't been sent.
We haven't gotten it yet.
By the way, in terms of who is the more annoying husband, Glenn Scarpelli says, quote unquote, I'm staying out of this.
Right. But Justin, if you look above, he's on my side. So anyway, we want to thank Jackie Cackert. These are for Beetlejuice, and this will hopefully inspire that's right. Will inspire the fans of the Glindas with us tonight. Saying Jackie gave $50. I was never able to get to the East Coast to see this, so this is so exciting. Thank you.
In advance?
Yeah, Andrew Gimson gave $500, said literally $500. He said, I just wanted to say that I stumbled upon the cast recording on YouTube and immediately fell in love because of the album. No, I know this is for Beetlejuice.
Oh, this is for Beetlejuice.
Yeah, for Beetlejuice last night. I've signed up for voice lessons, and one day I hope to be half as talented as any of you guys. Hopefully this 35-year-old guy can find his voice. There are so many. Another one, Mary Halder, gave $79. She had a ticket for the June 5th show of Beetlejuice. And she said she wanted to donate the amount of her refunded ticket. Isn't that nice? I mean, there's so many great ones here. Brooke, Andrew, I'd like to do a shout out and thank everyone who has worked on the musical. I discovered it this year and bought the soundtrack or the cast album. It really has helped me through a hard time during this pandemic. Thank you all so much. It even helped me get back into drawing again. Listen to that, Squigs. Marissa Cohen. Thank you, Seth and Jameson from the UK. And Beetlejuice is my favorite musical. My family and I went to see it in February, and it was amazing. It was $15. Jennifer McKee, I've been enjoying Stars in the House from the beginning and just really appreciate, thank you, Jenny, what you've been doing to help everyone with more resources and with entertainment. She gave $50. I tell you, the donations really came in. Gavin Sullivan gave $25. Abby gave $100. We want to thank her. And hold on, Seth, there's one more here. Sherry in Oregon. Hi, Seth and James. Hope this will qualify for the matching. Yes, it does. For last night, I'm grateful for this wonderful and entertaining series. Thank you. Thank you for encouraging kindness to so many except ourselves and highlighting the importance of the arts to everyone. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, now, Seth, we can. Oh, did you want to read this from the Actors Fund?
Yes, I'm just getting a link. Hold on.
Okay. Because the writing is so tiny, I do not know. I guess I can read this. This is a thank you from to the Actors Fund from one of the recipients from the COVID-19 emergency assistance. I'm writing to tell you how extraordinarily grateful and touched I am by the grant that I received from you. To be honest, I'm floored by the immense generosity. I feel blessed to have your support, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all of the hard work that is going into getting these grants to other artists like myself.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's really amazing. People still continue to give money. So we're excited. We know our Wicked shows are like super popular shows. So we have a bevy of Glindas. I noticed very few are blonde. What's up with that? Ladies, you're ruining your image. Please welcome our gaggle of Glindas. Okay, Kara, look at that beautiful brunette hair. Hi.
Hi. You guys are so awesome. You're so funny. You're making me laugh out loud.
We're not joking. But
I know. That's what makes it really funny.
We all need some honesty.
It's been 8.5 months.
I'm so glad to hear the Bagel's doing okay.
Thanks, Kara.
So are we. And now the lovely Erin. Hi, Erin. Sondheim on Sondheim.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
So nice to see you.
Hi, girl.
And then we have from inside, unfortunately, she's been kidnapped. She's in a bunker, but Patti Murin is here, which is lovely.
I would fail a room writer. If you follow Room Writer on Twitter, I would fail miserably. This would be a hostage video for them. 0 out of 10. I know. I have a baby, and I don't want to wake her up or like bother my husband. So, sound booth. Hi.
Looking cute. And then Katie, did I just see your doggy? Katie, where's your dog? Didn't I just see you holding? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Katie, where's Clarke?
Hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh.
Hi.
Yeah, I just put him outside because I knew he was going to start barking as soon as y'all put me on here. But
hey, by the way, speaking of y'all, I think you and James have to catch up, James.
You and my mom graduated from the same university in Huntsville, Texas, Sam Houston State University. And Julie's, our kid's first musical, was To See Light in the Piazza, which was with you. And I can't tell you how proud. I think you put in your bio that you had gone to Sam Houston State University. I'm like, look, She went to
Oh
the
my
same college
gosh.
as your grandmother. Anyway, so hi, Katie.
Hi, that's wild. I mean, it's such a small world. And yes, I probably did put it in my bio because I had to leave school to go do the show.
Wow.
Had to? How amazing.
Right, I know.
That's incredible. Okay, so ladies, we have so much to catch up on. You've all played Glinda. I want to hear all the insights about what it's like from the bubble to the high E that I used to make Kristen add to the opening number, which we will talk about. All of you are backing up. Ladies,
Lindsay, no way.
Absolutely not.
we're gonna warm into it. We're gonna warm into it. Okay, so who did Glinda in this group first? Patti? Was it you? Erin?
Right?
I think it's me. I started the show in 2005, and then I started playing Glinda in 2006. So, yeah, I was towards the beginning times.
Oh, actually, I know someone who was before you. 1, 2, 3. The original standby, Laura Bundy.
Hi.
Hi, LBB.
Hi, how are you?
Laura's on a break from mothering duty, so I know we have you for a limited time. By the way, do you have more than one kid? I can't keep track.
No, I just have this one, Huck.
I love the branding. So Laura, Laura Bell, you were the standby for Kristen. So were you there in San Francisco, like during the whole rehearsal process?
No, I was actually hired after the show had opened. Or very, very close to it. I remember being asked to come see the show in previews. And then I came in to have a work session. And then the show opened. And then I was offered the part or something like that. I was offered to stand by. And so I began work very shortly after it opened in 2003.
And did you learn it from being in the audience? Did you have actual understudy rehearsals?
Well, you want the honest answer? I learned it from being in the audience, but I did have understudy rehearsals. But my first time I went on was before I had like a backstage put in situation. It was 7 p.m. I was at the H&M. I was at the register checking out, and I got the call. You're going to be on tonight. And I was like, and I ran back to the theater, and yeah, it was just a total whirlwind. And also, the bubble was way too small for me. I was like, how do you sing these notes while you're bending your knees and switching your body down?
Laura Bell, when you're a standby, like when you were at H&M, are you really like, do you warm up every day in anticipation that you'll be called that night, or that was like just cold?
No, you don't warm up. You don't think you're going on. You don't. You do not. Unless you're told, hey, you're going on, or hey, they're sick. And also, I was 22. I didn't warm up when I was 22. Now it takes me like 2 hours to warm up and get ready for a show. But when I was 22, I was like, this shit is easy. Like, it was a total different situation. And you know what? I gotta say, like, though, I'm really glad that early on in my career, you know, when I come from doing Hairspray, which was a huge success and had this great role in it in the show, and I think it was a really good experience for me to be a standby and to understand what that is like. And it is the hardest job I ever had. And, you know, it's so funny because if anybody has ever covered anybody, you know that the first time you go on, you spend the whole show feeling people like touching you on your lower back, pushing you to the right number, or you're slightly out of light, or, you know, whatever. And so I just learned a lot about the appreciation of people who cover and how hard that is. And just a whole new side of it that I think it was important for me to know.
Did Kristen give you any words of wisdom or support, or I don't know, anything that she had advised you on for the role?
I don't think she really advised me on the role, but she was incredibly supportive. I mean, she's a wonderful human being, and we got along very well. And I think we even at the time were in a prayer group together, and she was like, "I just love that fried chicken salad from Applebee's," and so we had a great connection. And so she was very supportive and very sweet. And actually, one of the times I went on was halfway in the middle of the show. And
why?
Well, I think okay. Kristen had a stomach issue, and she ran off. I had kind of got, hey, Kristen's not feeling great, and it was at Defying Gravity, and it was right there. She's right there, like holding the broom with Elfie, and she just sort of is like, okay, this is my last line. I'm leaving stage. So she leaves stage. She go to the bathroom, and then I get, Laura Bell, please come to the stage manager's office. And I come down to they're like, you're on. I'm like, I'm on. I had just had, I didn't think I was going on. I just ate a dozen buffalo chicken wings in my dressing room.
Oh my God.
By the way, I shared a dressing room with Eden Espinoza, and it was just like we were reading what is that, like South Beach diet book while we're eating buffalo chicken wings. Anyway, and so I go on, and so she's still there because she's having a stomach issue in the dressing room, in the bathroom, while I am in her dressing area putting my makeup on, and people are doing my hair, and I'm warming my voice up, and I'm looking at my script and whatever, and she's like, Laura Bell, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Are you okay? Oh my God, and it was just the most hilarious backstage antics of her struggling with this stomach issue, and me trying to get ready, and 1,000 people entering the room, and then, I come out, and the audience sees someone that's a half a foot taller. Do the show.
Literally a monster.
A monster.
And then what was it like having to play, opposite Adina, who was such a huge star from this show? I mean, like, it's kind of early on before the Tony, but what kind of pressure did you feel, and what was she like to play opposite?
She was wonderful. And I didn't feel, I think the pressure I felt was just the pressure of like playing a role you don't normally play, which is terrifying. But she was lovely, and she was great to work with. And I was such a fan of, I'd watched the show 1,000 times so I could learn the show. And so I would hear her sing these notes night after night and be like, how is this happening? And, so we had a really great connection, and kind of a very emotional connection, even during songs like For Good. And, we had our own friendship. So I didn't feel intimidated. I felt supported by her for sure. Yeah.
I love that you were there at the beginning. Okay, so look, I know you've got to put the kid to bed, but I want to just give you a shout out because we did a big Legally Blonde reality show reunion last week, which was super fun. And I know that you just did a full Legally Blonde What Should We Sanitize song. So I wanted to give you a little shout out. Who came up with the idea of like, what do we sanitize? Whose idea was that?
Well, it was not mine. So this video was done like early in the quarantine. It was like Summit Medical in New Jersey. So it was my friend Joe Finicaro's idea, and Charlie Sutton, and who else? Hold on. I'm going to find out who else wrote the little ditty. They put it all together. They were like, will you do this? Here's your part. Tape yourself. My computer's not working now, and I like to give credit, but that was a fail. But they put the whole thing together, and they did all the parts themselves to show us how it would work, and then we did it. So and then once I was like, before I recorded my part and I saw what they were doing, I said, this is going to be amazing. This is incredible. Where are you releasing this? And they were like, oh, we're just going to put it on the medical website. I'm like, we're putting this on YouTube. This is going to be amazing.
Oh, it's got a lot of hits. Here's your final section. And it's so good to see the original girls, see Kritzer. And here, let's take a gander.
Oh my God, you guys. Doesn't take a Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, it's phones and keys and doorknobs, also steering wheels apply. Common sense, you guys. 6 feet apart, social distancing. Let's make sure that we're listening. Like remembering to take off your gloves when you get inside. You got it, guys. Oh my God, you guys. And just tell us how to sanitize. If there ever was a reason to clean, this one qualifies. 'Cause I love you guys. Now I love you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys. Sanitize.
I just ran out of Lysol wipes today.
You just use a Clorox wipe? What'd you say?
I just ran out of all my Lysol wipes today.
So I reminded you with the video. All right, LBB, great having you. Go say
Good
hi to
to
Hub.
see you. Nice to
Peace
see
out.
all of you guys. Lots of love.
Peace out. Adorable. Okay, now Glindas. So Erin, you were the first. Is this one of those things where you were in college and you were like, "Oh my God, this is the role I should be playing"? Okay, let me hear the story.
Yes.
Well, it's not exactly, wow, this is the role I should be playing. I wanted to play it desperately. I mean, I loved the cast album. You know, I listened to it nonstop. But yes, I was in college and I was on my summer break from my freshman year, and I auditioned for Wicked. And I had been working, I grew up working as a kid. So I'd started working when I was like 11, auditioning for film and TV stuff. I grew up just an hour south of LA. So, you know, I had a little bit going on in that way. And then, then I booked Wicked on my summer break. I booked a job as a swing on the tour, on the first national tour. And so I started doing that. Did that for like 6-7 months. And then I went to the Chicago company that they had opened. And I was in the ensemble and understudied Glinda for about 6 months. And then I took over. So I was like 19 when I started with Wicked. It's crazy. I mean, a lot, I was hearing Laura Bell talk and I was like, a lot of that sounds familiar just in terms of being so young, being kind of fearless, being like, yeah, I'm good. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what is this?
But so did your parents have an SFIT that you were leaving college?
I think they were not necessarily concerned that I was leaving college. I like I said, I had been working a lot as a kid. So I had been very committed to like this career path. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. But I do think they were a little like our 19-year-old daughter is going on tour with a show and she doesn't know like what it's like to live on her own yet, really. So, you know, I faced all that, did all that, learned a lot.
Well, you know,
yeah.
I was going to say Sutton Foster got into Will Rogers Follies when she was 17. And the tour was actually really kind of depressing for her because definitely she was very lonely and everyone was much older than her. It was also before cell phones and stuff, but still, it was not really so much fun for her. So was it like that for you, or was everyone a Madame Morrible and they were like, keep away, or were they like, open?
No, everyone was great. It was a really great group of people. I mean, I had no idea. I was just clueless. I was just like a 19-year-old showing up and being like, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by all of these people that I've been listening to on cast albums for like all of growing up. I just couldn't believe it. And so I remember like, I think Adam Fleming was on the tour then. And like, I listened to him on the Hairspray album and I was like, oh my gosh, Adam Fleming. So I just was like geeking out over everybody, which I don't know if that was annoying. Everyone was very sweet to me about it, if it was. And there were, I mean, I'm not going to lie, there were definitely hard things about it. You know, 19, I couldn't really go out with people very much after the show. I couldn't get in. I couldn't drive the rental cars. So I was kind of at everyone's mercy for that. So there was things like that, but people really took care of me. Maria Eberline and Kristen Wee were two of my buddies on the tour, and they just like took me under their wing and just said, we'll take care of you. So they really did.
Okay, hold on. Should we read this, James? Sorry. Okay, no, it has been sent yet. Sorry, we just got a donation we're going to read. Okay, so Carol, Lindsay, how did you get involved? National tour or Broadway?
National tour at Munchkinland. But Erin and I went to college together for a very short amount of time. We knew she was a star. She was a freshman and I was a sophomore. I forget. But we're like, we do this thing called Voice Lab. And it's like where the freshmen, or where we all go and we sing a song at a certain time of the week. And we have freshmen sing. And when she sang, we're all like, she's a star. And when she left, we weren't surprised. She's a star.
What I remember about Voice Lab was that I got my tonsils out the beginning of school. And so like I couldn't do the Voice Lab for a while. So
that's right. So then when we finally heard you, we're like, and then she went to be in Wicked. But yeah, I was doing Newsies on Broadway, and I'd been going in for Nessa Rose for so many years because I looked like her.
Not interested. Go on.
I really wanted it though. I was like, yeah, that's my role.
Oh, come on. It's a solid 16 bars. All right, continue.
You know what? It's a good snack track.
I know, but it's just she just gets the short end of the stick. She's so unlikable by the end of the show. It's like, tell me one positive thing she does.
Yeah, she does have some tantrums for sure.
God, annoying.
I got a big laugh out of Patti.
I mean, come on. All right, go on.
I didn't even think that Glinda was an option. So,
that's interesting.
Really, like, I get to be in Wicked. Like, period. Nessa is my way in. Great. But yeah, I was sort of asking, or when I was doing Newsies, if I could be seen for Glinda, and they I think they were like, but you're Nessa, but they were totally open to it. And then I went in, and it was like maybe the shortest audition process, because normally it's really long, or like it's just no. So it just like was the right time, and yeah, and I went out on Munchkinland, and then I finished my Wicked journey at Munchkinland.
Did you go to the audition like trying to look more Glinda, like Blondie, or you just went as yourself?
No, I went as me. I mean, I bought a dress from the juniors department at Macy's that was like fluffy, and that was the extent of me trying to be, Glinda. But I had my hair because there were a few brunette Glindas by that point, and I think Jennifer Laura Thompson was brunette, right?
She's kind of like strawberry blonde.
Okay.
Specific.
Auburn.
Hey, Patti Murin, I'm sending you a nice donation to read, so hold on for 1 second.
Wait,
you have your phone with you?
Yes.
Okay, hold please. So Patti, your number is anyway. Here it goes. Okay.
This is one very special one.
Yeah, it's a very nice one.
Oh, from my buddy Jimmy Jackson from California. He donated $257 because when Patti Murin does something for charity, I must donate. It's a weird law of the universe, and in 2020, I'm not going to screw with the universe. Emoji. He is one of the just huge theater fan, and just one of the most respectful, kind, wonderful people on the planet. Like, I feel I met him, I don't know, was it 8 years ago or so? And he's just the most generous human being in the whole wide world. So Jimmy Jackson, you are once again. Jimmy Jackson strikes again.
By the way, after my Nessa Rose dishing, someone said, Seth, was that really Nessa? Sorry.
I so appreciate that pun.
So got it. All right. So Patti Murin, you were kind of remind me of Megan Hilty, because when Megan was in college, they were all like, you're going to be Elphaba. You're such a belter. And then she wound up getting Glinda. Like you do so many belty parts. Were you thinking you were going to be Elphaba and then suddenly you were up the octave?
It's funny because I went in for Wicked very many times, 2 times very specifically that I remember. And the first time I went in, they had me come in for Glinda, and I got a call back for Glinda. And then they were like, yeah, but you belt, like your voice is so much more alpha, but can you sing Defying Gravity? And then they made me sing Defying Gravity on the spot.
Oh my God. I
That
have
is mean.
anxiety dreams like that.
Yeah, it was, but again, I was young, you know what I mean? I was in my mid-20s and I was like, yes, I can actually. Now I'd be like, can you give me 3 days? Then maybe I can come back and crack it a little bit. And then the next time I went in, you know, I did like the whole work session and whatnot. And I just was never a soprano, like ever. And that one, they were like, yeah, we think that you could be a really good understudy on the second national tour. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, I don't think that's going to be happening for me. And then after Lysistrata closed, I remember it like closed so early. I remember being like, I just wish Wicked would call. And like 6 months later, Wicked called and they were like, you know, do you want to come on the first national tour? And I was like, why, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
As Glinda, not the understudy.
Yes, because after Lysistrata, it was like, oh, well, you know, duh. And I think they figured like soprano, schmoprano, she'll figure it out.
I
don't know. We'll see.
Hilarious. Okay, so Katie Rose Clarke, you left college for Latin Piazza. Did you leave graduate school for Wicked?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I was all done school after that. Yeah. That was one of my, that was the next show I did. I did a couple of smaller shows after little regional things here and there after Piazza closed. And then, I went in for Glinda like the end of 2007. And then I went out on the Emerald City tour. It was the first national tour. And then, just continued to do a lot of, thankfully, different contracts with them. And was kind of the gift that kept giving for a while.
I feel like I saw you on Broadway with Anna. Is that possible? Who did you do with on Broadway?
Oh my gosh. I did
Julia.
Dee Rascioli, Mandy Gonzalez.
Mandy.
Bill Wicks.
Oh my God.
I had to remember like which alphabet was that I saw. I definitely saw Mandy.
Yeah.
Okay, bravo.
And Lindsay Mendez wasn't God, I've had a lot of alphabets.
Wow.
Okay, so that's so you've done, most of you have done the road and you've done Broadway. What's the difference? Is there any difference? I mean, I guess larger houses, but like what
the
else?
rake stage.
The rake stage. That's
rake.
The set
a massive difference.
Slightly like there's things that we know are a little different about the set. I mean, it's small, but like there's less steps or something like that.
What about the bubble? And when you're on tour, does the bubble work, or do you guys just walk in with saran wrap on?
The bubble does work. The thing
Occasionally.
Yeah, I was thinking when Laura Bell was saying this, I'm like, any like company I've gone to for Wicked, any contract I'm doing, the biggest thing is always like, we have to get her in the bubble. We're not sure if she's going to fit because I'm small.
Yeah.
But I'm not tall. Like Katie, I think we're probably the same height, kind of.
I think you're taller than me. Yeah.
5'6"?
Yeah, I'm 5'5".
Panic. Oh, maybe that's why. I always thought, I was like, well, do they do that to Katie? But no, it's always like a panic. It's like, gotta get her in the bubble. We're not sure if she's gonna fit. And I'm like, I fit barely, but I fit. I'm just gonna put the crown just down a little further.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Did
this
you?
cute-
Oh,
no, you can say something, Kara. Go.
did you have the 3-inch heels or whatever? Did you use those? Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3-inch?
Yeah. I think I've been in the 3.
Me neither. I used the.
Absolutely not. No.
I've usually done the higher ones, and then slowly, like as the contract goes on, I'm like, can I get some new shoes? Just a little,
Just like shave a bit off the heel. Yeah, I think I started.
Can I wear flats?
Yeah.
Kara, I love this picture of you backstage in LA.
I'm a professional.
So cute.
Alpha and Glinda are friends. And then Patti, I have a picture of you just on your first date with Colin.
I was like, man, I look hot.
Put a little makeup on. Okay, so I'd love for all of you know, I know the alphabets really well. And I'm always talking to Anna Gasteyer about, she's always complaining that basically all the props in the show are 700 pounds. Like, She's like, the suitcase is really heavy, and the grimoire and the dress. She's like, has anyone heard of the word balsa? So anyway, she doesn't know why like the props are so heavy. So, but that's what she always says is the hardest part of the show. What's the hardest part of the show for Glindas that we don't necessarily know about?
Oh, that freaking bubble dress is like 20 pounds, and it has actual mechanic machinery in it. I mean, not machinery, but like it has like a belt with the like, you know, hooky thing, and it's just and then they give you the you know, the doodly, what do you, I can't even
The wand?
The wand?
the snap, the stick, what is it? And you're like, "Ooh," and then it's
And you got the crown on, which is heavy. Yeah.
yeah, and then you're like, why does my neck hurt? Because you know you have like 30 pounds of junk on you. Yeah.
And the mic is in your wig too, right?
Mine was it.
Mine was
There's
in my
two.
dress. Yeah.
You have one in the no?
I didn't
Erin?
have it in my bag.
Oh yeah, there was two. Yeah, one and
There
one.
was two.
Mhm.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then one down your back and one in your wig.
Yeah.
Oh God! Remember the old
Yeah.
Broadway where no one even had a body mic? Isn't that crazy?
I
That now
know.
people wear two mics. It's so new school. By the way, Patti, who are you with in this photo?
The fire alarm went off in San Francisco, and obviously me and Dee had to take a picture with the fireman. He was really cute. And I was like, literally, I mean this literally, I was literally about to get a divorce, like right before, like as I was in, I know it sounds really sad. It's actually really funny now that I look back on it. I was like,
Good.
two men.
Wait, go back. Wait, like Madame Horrible was backstage smoking a cigarette and set off the fire alarm. Like, who was it? Was it Stritch?
What's strange?
That's
I don't know what, because it was San Francisco and I had been there before. Like we had problems in Vegas because we were the first people to play the Vegas, the Smith Center there and stuff. So we had like, you know, a couple of figuring out the fog moments, but I don't know what happened with San Francisco. I think I was in the bubble though, and they had to come and rescue me with a ladder because everything like they just kind of stopped everything, and like the stagehands came, and I had to like I went like, you know, like just fireman style, like you know, to one of our stagehands. Yeah, it's really
Oh, God. And then is there?
Happened.
What'd you say?
That same thing happened when I was on tour. I think it was Minneapolis, and it happened like a couple nights in a row. And like we all had to evacuate, and I think the audience too. And so we were all just outside in costumes. And I remember the audience coming around like to the backstage, like taking pictures of us just like in our coats,
like Disney World, like
weird.
Disney World.
like,
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
Well,
really strange.
Katie, apparently you got injured another time, according to this viewer. When I saw Katie Rose Clarke on tour, she threw herself in the prop bed so hard, I was afraid she injured herself. Dedication.
No, I didn't. I used to throw myself like, you know, really hard, and it would just it would get a laugh. But no, I never really injured myself with that. The beds, thankfully, are, you know, foamy. There's foam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of injuring yourself, Kara, I noticed some of the dance steps you added to Popular.
Oh God.
An amazing high kick with a bent leg and a flex foot, bold choice.
I'm a dancer.
And then, like, I guess a weird Jane Fonda stretch that you don't actually make. Anyway, the other thing that I love
That's
is
like what every Glinda does, you know.
Uh-huh. But then you sort of make it. You sort of add like a weird rock Stevie Nicks like vocal choice. I know. Okay, here, let's just take a gander, shall
Oh
we?
my God.
Oh yes.
I should have been fired.
It's so funny.
No.
It's really Botmont flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Glinda feels like they should have been fired at some point.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They're like, I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah.
That is
Many
hilarious.
times.
All
Many
right,
times.
ladies, we're going to take a short break for our medical break with Dr. John Lepouk. So if you have questions, you can wave at us.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about Thanksgiving.
We talk about Thanksgiving. It's coming up. All right, a lot of decisions have to be made.
We'll see you soon,
We'll see you real soon. Patti, all right, please welcome to Stars in the House, the chief medical correspondent of CBS News, Dr. John Lepouk.
Hey guys.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Lepouk.
How are you?
We're good. We basically keep hearing the same thing about what should we do for Thanksgiving? What should we do for Thanksgiving? I think a lot of people are feeling pressure to see their family, thinking, "Oh, it's only going to be 8 people," and I know. So I guess let's do 2-tiered. Let's say you have to go see your family because of Jewish guilt. What is the safest protocol if you have to see your family?
Beam yourself to them.
Like Harry the movie?
There's really no perfectly safe scenario if you're traveling. The safest thing probably is to drive, right? Everything else requires going to an airport, getting in a bus, going on a train. You're being with other people. When you're with other people, you're increasing the risk. I mean, I really have to say right now, I'm just saying, I'm bah humbug. Stay at home. And you want to live to see another day so that next Thanksgiving you're going to be there. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of good news. Today, literally minutes ago, I got a text from the FDA that, Regeneron's monoclonal antibody cocktail, the one that helped President Trump, it just got emergency use authorization from the FDA. So now there's that. There's the Lilly for people who have mild disease. This is not hospitalized people, but for people who have mild disease. Then we've got these vaccines around the corner. So I know it's hard. I know everybody has got the COVID fatigue and just thinking I'm done with this, but you just hang in there, so that you can get through this pandemic and live to see next Thanksgiving, and your parents and grandparents can, and the vulnerable people around you can. I know it sounds cold.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at the questions that have come in. Hi, Dr. Lepouk. What should you do if your parents and friends aren't worried about COVID, but you are?
Yeah, well, it's flipping, isn't it? It's like when your parents said, "Don't do this," when you were a kid, and you said, "Why?" and they said, "Because." Because I said so. At some point, if logic isn't working, you just have to say, "This is what I'm doing." You may not understand it now, but when you get older, you will, even though they're your parents and your relatives. There's no doubt that this is the right thing to do. Right now, the country's on fire. It's en fuego. And there's no perfectly safe way to travel, truly. Stay home, have Thanksgiving virtually with your pod, people in your pod, and wait and see, because on December 10th, it looks like that's the date of the FDA advisory committee meeting about the vaccine. I expect it's going to, if everything goes right, it's going to be approved at the end of this month. You'll probably start to see the first people getting the vaccine, the first responders and the most vulnerable. And by next year, you'll start seeing tens of millions of doses of vaccine rolled out each month.
But I guess what I'm thinking is, because there are people, no matter what, that are going to go home. Basically, what I would just say, what you keep saying is just basically don't ever take off your mask. Eat completely by yourself, and then keep your mask on the rest of the time, right? Just don't eat together.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you really have to be there, you've got to be with family. You've got to dissociate eating from socializing. So eat by yourself with people in your own pod. If you have to do it, you're outdoors, far away from each other, because the problem is you're taking off your mask to eat.
Right.
Unless somebody has figured out another way to get the food into you. So you're taking off the mask, and then you're at risk. And then indoors, no matter how far away, you're wearing a mask the whole time. Everybody's wearing a mask indoors. Very, very, very straightforward now.
I mean, I think I know what your answer is going to be here. How can I convince my roommate to take extra precautions with her family Thanksgiving of 15 people?
Yeah, there's the problem, is that your pod suddenly just became a lot bigger. People say, "Oh, I have a small pod." Well, how many people are in it? 4 people. Well, let's go over each person's contacts, become a contact tracer. Oh, one of them has a sister who is in the tenor section of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Okay. You really have to be that specific. What are they doing, right, and who are they exposed to within 14 days? Because with this incubation period of 2 to 14 days, if they're exposed to somebody, they could be incubating it and come bring it back to you. I think that these, people, roommates, this is a time to step up and not just think, well, listen, I have to do what I have to do. If you're a roommate, you have that responsibility. And then maybe if the person's going to go anyway, then if it's your roommate, you have to think about getting out of there when that person comes back, because you don't know whether or not they're going to be infectious.
Right. Right. This one last question. I got a positive test on the 9th, no symptoms until the 15th, a negative test on the 20th with no more symptoms. When am I not contagious?
Positive test on the 9th, had no symptoms till the 15th. Negative test on the 20th with no more symptoms. The CDC says 10 days after the positive test or the first symptom, as long as the symptoms are getting better and you have no fever without any Tylenol or fever-reducing medicine. So if it's 10 days later, that's the 19th. Today is what? The 20th. 21st. Yeah, that should be, according to the CDC, you should be not contagious now. So I'm sorry it's going up and down. This is on an iPhone, and
That's okay.
with my left hand. Yeah, it should be, go to the everybody know about the CDC website, which is really great. I know the CDC's taken some knocks. You search CDC space COVID space contagious, and they will tell you exactly the current guidelines. And I always recommend doing that rather than listening to me, seriously, because who knows, maybe they've changed their guidelines since the last time I looked. So Look at the CDC website. It's going to be there.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Lepouk.
All right, guys.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.
All right. Bye. Yeah, speaking of Thanksgiving, we're going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I forgot to say this at the beginning of the show, dedicated to Thanksgiving with people cooking. We're going to have some people that are going to be part of the new version of the parade.
Giving us inside scoop.
Giving an inside scoop. And then people especially on Thanksgiving, who may not be being with their family. So you can go to if you want to share with us what you're going to be doing that day, maybe a recipe. Thanksgiving at starsinthehouse.com. Thanksgiving at starsinthehouse.com.
Yeah, send us a photo, send us an email, and I think we're gonna have a prolonged show on Thanksgiving so we can all eat together.
That day. Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring back my Glindas. I want you to be Patti. Hi, Pat.
Hello.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Erin. Hi, Kara. And quite frankly, I'd like to hear an opposing viewpoint, because I think the Glindas think that they're sort of the stars, but the reality is the Elphabas are. And I think that Seikana Stories would agree. Hi, Seikana.
Hi. Hello. How's everyone?
All good. So Seikana, did you ever work with any of these ladies?
No, I'm looking at everybody's names, everybody's face. No, I was in the show 122 years ago. So it's you too, Erin. Yeah, it's been a while. So no, I've never done Wicked with any of these ladies.
Seikana was a standby all the way back in the day, right? You were standby for who? For Eden, I think.
I stood by for Eden. Eden Espinosa, Shoshana Bean, Anna Gasteyer. I was the first replacement standby. So this was this was Adina's last month or so. Was my first month of rehearsals. Was when Adina Menzel was leaving the show, and Shoshana Bean took on the role, and then I replaced Shoshana as the standby. So that's how long ago that was. That was 04 to 07. I was the standby on the Broadway.
Seikana, what's with the alto speaking voice yet the ability to belt Fs? What's up with that?
I don't know.
Just want to
Honestly,
clarify.
ask my speech coach, my speech therapist about that. I always listen to Beyonce and how she's like, everybody knows. And I'm like, but honey, I don't know. I do not know. I'm just a good old fancy contralto with pretend mezzo meanderings is what I am.
Lindsay Mendez though was like, I have a low voice. I'm like, oh my God, you're all in denial. Okay, wait. Also,
I'll give y'all some good Toni Braxton if y'all want. I'll give y'all a Toni Braxton.
I want that up the octave. Seikana, you look so glam. You said you were filming something. You allowed to reveal what you're filming?
Yes, I'm fresh. Like my car keys are seriously the car keys, the purse. I
just got home.
Oh.
I'm in North Carolina. I left New York. I personally left New York because I wanted to just live in a different city. And then I was like, oh, I'm always traveling to different cities to work. And I haven't worked in New York as much. I've been working in Toronto, working in different cities. And it's the pandemic. I said, let me leave. So I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I booked a TV show. So, I mean, what are the chances in the middle of this pandemic? I'm shooting a television show. You guys are really the first to know about it. I haven't announced it or anything like that.
Yay!
I never even talked about it. I have not mentioned it on Instagram or anything. But yeah, I'm shooting a TV show here for the OWN network. And so, yeah, that's why I still got this beat on. It's a little oily. Now, but, yeah. The show is called Delilah. I'm shooting a show called Delilah.
And how high do you have to belt?
How high do they tie my belt to make my bosoms go bosom? I'm just the local floozy in the show. It's fun. Lots of cleavage and lots of lashes and things.
By the way, last time you were on the show, we had not finished watching Scandal. When we got to your episodes, we were like, "Oh my gosh, look at Seikana!"
We love her so much.
Oh my God!
Honey, I was in that bed with Tony Goldwyn, looking at all that.
I know. I was furious.
We were so
humana. That man is ageless. Like, I'm looking at his face. Like, I swear to you, no work, all his own hair. I don't know what he eats. He looks good. I'll just tell y'all that. He's a beautiful man.
We both have an inappropriate crush on him. The whole time we're watching Scandal, we're both salivating. He's so cute.
I was like, I love my job. I love it. Yeah. He was super professional though. Like I would be like, it'd be like, and then the kids would never, and he'd be like, bye. And I'd be like, oh, it's over. Okay. Like he was super professional. But woo, humana.
First of all, floozy and humana. Two expressions from the 20s that are coming back. Excellent.
Humana.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching the show. For those of you who don't know, I played the FBI director in the season 6 of Scandal, and then I became the president's new girlfriend, and it was all the scandal, and the fans were like, "What? Only one black girl can be with the president." It was crazy. But yeah,
I think it was like my favorite TV show. I cannot tell you how much. We just watched the pandemic. We would watch 3 episodes a day. It is amazing.
Yeah.
The story. Oh my God, we love it so much.
Cyrus.
Yes. What Jeff? What's his name? The acting. Wait, Patti, you can't pretend you're obsessed. Patti, you only love The Bachelor. I don't know what game you're playing, but read your Twitter feed.
Isn't Scandal like a scripted kind of like makes you feel the same things as The Bachelor? I think it does.
Look, it's like, who's going to be the last? Who last? Who's the one to last?
I know. Don't reveal anything.
They die on Scandal. They don't die on The Bachelor.
They die relentlessly on Scandal. Okay, wait. I have so many clips I want to talk about. Katie Rose Clarke, I saw you lighting the piazza. I was so obsessed with you. Just talk for a second how you went from college to lighting the piazza, because that was such a coveted role. Like every soprano wanted it. Like, how did you get the audition? You were in the cafeteria? Like, what happened?
I know, pretty much. I had met the music director, Kim Grigsby, randomly a couple years prior, and they were just having a hard time finding Kelly's replacement. Is what I've been told, and so the casting director, Janet Foster, went to Kim's dressing room, I think, one day and said, "Do you know absolutely anybody that we can bring in? I don't care where they are." And literally Kim said, "Yeah, I've been thinking about this one girl for, a long time since we started casting, and I think that we could bring her in. The only problem is I think she's still in school, and I'm not sure. I think she's in Texas somewhere." And so sure enough, I get a call, and I was in school. I was taking finals. I was about to graduate. And so I was like getting ready for finals and just like sleep deprived and, and I get this call, and I thought it was a prank call, asking me to come fly to New York and audition to replace Kelly O'Hara. And it wasn't. And so my mom actually, my mom's mom had just passed away, and my mom had gotten some like a little bit of money. And so she used her inheritance money to fly us up to New York and to stay. And which was like crazy because, the show is kind of about that relationship. That's kind of the central relationship. And so we went and it was crazy. They asked me to stay and come back. Bart asked me to stay and come back in for a callback. And so we had to change our flights and extend our stay because we thought I'd just come in and be like, okay, thank you for the opportunity. Bye. And but sure enough, it just kind of the stars aligned and it was meant to be. And yeah, I was about as green as you could get. I mean, and this was before y'all know, it was like before YouTube. And I mean, I think Broadway.com might have been one of the only online resources for us, like that didn't live close to the city. And so I was in Huntsville, Texas, James. I mean, it's like Nowhereville.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to figure out what to do and getting lost on the subway for hours on end every day, like figuring out the city. But yeah, it was a crazy time.
And what was it like? Talking about playing opposite Adina, what was it like playing opposite Vicki Clark, who had won the Tony Award at that point?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, she's also a Texan and just kind of, I think she felt really protective over me, and she would take me out for, coffee and take me out to dinner. And she was just, everything you want a Tony Award winning Broadway star to be. She was just a dream. I was really just super lucky. And Erin, Lazar too. I mean, the whole team was really sweet to take care of me. Yeah. And I mean, I had just turned 21, and like Erin, you said you were 19 when you did Glinda. It just blows my mind. Like how you kept it wrapped tight and came out on the other side, because it's just doing these things when you're so young and you don't know anybody. It's just it really it's a life-changing thing.
I know our kid is 20, and it's like the idea of her doing a Broadway show. We're like, what? You're so young, but when you're that age, you don't feel young at all. But when you look back,
I think it protects you so much. I mean, it really protects you in that moment of any of the fear or looking back and being like, that is so crazy that I did that. But when you're in it at that age, you're just like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right. It didn't occur to me that I could be fired. And I think that was good. I just was kind of ignorant, blissfully unaware. But yeah, I mean, I think that did protect me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I have one question for you musically, because I remember talking to Vicki, and she said that it's a new world for me. The very end of the opening number, she used to be on top and Kelly was on the bottom. And after they did the album, Vicki was like, no one can tell I'm on the top. Can we please God switch parts? So did you sing the higher part at the very end of the opening number? Do you remember?
Yeah, I did the exact same things, which, and I was still so vocally really young and pretty untrained. So I really had to cut my teeth quite a bit on that vocally. And I had a lot of, I had to get a lot of vocal training.
Really? Because you actually sound amazing. Let's all watch.
Oh, it's my favorite show. I saw Katie.
Erin, you played the part, didn't you?
I did it at South Coast Rep in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
But I saw you do it twice, Katie, and you were so freaking fantastic. I remember I was just like, when I was doing it, I kept thinking about you and thinking about your performance and just I'm gushing, but she was real good.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Erin. That is really generous. It was a crazy time. I mean, guys, don't y'all have things like when you were young performers and you look back and all of a sudden all the cold sweats, everything come back?
I did Wicked when I was 19. I started, but then I went back to it last year after 10 years. And it was crazy. Talk about like cold sweats. I was like doing things and I was like, wait, no, I can do this now. And then I was like, but I had these like old feelings attached to, just moments that were hard for me as a kid.
Did your voice feel different? Did your voice, Erin, do you sing it better or worse or?
I think overall better. Yes, I think. I hope. But different though. Like it was really interesting after 10 years to just see the things that had been very easy when I was young that maybe were like a little harder to navigate, and then things that were so hard for me when I was younger and I was like, oh yeah, no problem. That's easy. So it was really weird. I mean, who gets the opportunity to do a role 10 years after they've done it, you know? I mean, it was just such a cool
Erin, I had forgotten that you went back because I did too. Last year, I was still like breastfeeding my daughter, and then like a princess, and it was like crazy.
I'm gonna go back in the archives.
Y'all better go. You gotta go back and get that check sometimes. You gotta do.
I know, but yes, my voice felt totally different when I went back, but I was also kind of postpartum, and just to your question, Seikana, it was interesting to sort of feel how different, how everything changes, and you just bring everything, all your life and everything about your being into the role. And it's just, it's crazy. You're right. It's a rare opportunity to revisit it so many years after. And
you would almost like not stress about things as much as you might have like 10 years ago now, because you're I don't have to worry about my baby. I'm not gonna, let me sing this thing, you're not gonna like, we stress about so much as young actresses. I think like the life of the ingenue. Oh my God. Could we all write a book on that?
By the way, Seikana, look at this. We saw Seikana, what I think was her first time filling in, and she was fabulous and so kind at the stage door. She seemed surprised. We all wanted her autograph.
Oh, wow. Hi, Susan Nippler.
Hey, Seikana, I just sent you donations. Would you read your text?
Yes, I saw that. And then I was like, oh, don't read. The camera's back on. Okay. I'll read it now. Chris from California, $80. $1 for each time I've seen Wicked in San Francisco, sit down, Broadway, and several other cities, and even once in Germany, in German. I also saw Patti in Lysistrata Jones. Thank you all. Wow, that's lovely. Wow. Jimmy Jackson from California, $154. Second donation out of my massive respect for my all-time favorite Glinda, Katie Rose Clarke, because we in San Diego got to see her make magic with Matt Doyle in Heart of Rock and Roll, like 23 days after she gave birth. Yes. And something for Kara Lindsay, because she was utterly delightful when I got to meet her and Jackie Burns, hey Jackie, backstage at the Pantages. And then Amanda and Michaela, $30. Kara and Patti are two of our favorite people ever, and it's making us smile so big seeing them on here together. Talk all things Glinda and Wicked. Thanks, Seth and James.
Aww.
That was amazing.
Wow, we get such great donations. Hey, Kara, what is this? Is this you to the next Glinda?
Oh, no, we did illegal things backstage. Where that's Caroline Bowman, who was my first Elphaba on Broadway, and she wanted to wear the Glinda dress before she left, so I put her in my Glinda dress, and she looks brilliant.
I have a picture of Dee Rossioli all greened up in my Glinda dress, and I didn't send it because I was like,
great.
So,
I have one of
never happened. It never happened. She had
I'll get in trouble.
Glinda dress. Oh, that picture would have been like
6 feet taller than me too. So it was just like,
yeah. He's a monster. Okay, I have two more things I want to do. So, Erin, I want to talk to you for a second about getting to do Sweeney Todd. Was that a role that you've been coveting, Joanna?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That's one of those things that I know it was Jay and I would just look at each other in rehearsals and we'd be like, how did we get here? Like, we couldn't believe it. I grew up like watching the PBS Live from Lincoln Center broadcasts. I mean, I lived for that stuff, like Crazy for You and Passion. Oh my gosh. I just loved watching them. So I could not believe that I was going to be in one of those and then be in Sweeney Todd. And it was such a amazing production that Lonnie put together too. I thought it was such a cool concert version idea of like how we all came out. You thought it was going to be whatever. You thought it was going to be like books and standard or whatever,
Right.
and through it all. So yeah, it was like probably top, 3 coolest things I've ever done. It was it's so short, it's fast, but
well, yeah, it's like a weekend thing. But I love your moment of like busting yourself for being stupid, where you literally punch your own head.
oh yeah.
It is so here. Watch it. It's so hilarious.
We'd best not wait until Monday.
So I concur and fully
It isn't right. We'd best be married on Sunday.
Saturday, sir, would also
Or
do.
else tonight.
I think I heard a noise.
Fear not.
I mean another noise.
Like what?
Oh, never mind, just a noise,
You
just
mustn't
another
mind,
noise.
just a
Something
noise,
in the
just
street.
another
I'm
noise,
telling
something
you,
in the
don't
street,
you
just
know,
a
kiss me.
Yes,
Lonnie really just let me play, and it was really fun because it was a lot of, when it's that short, you're really just going off instinct. You're like, well, you're not like you're not laboring over these choices. You're just like, we're doing this tomorrow, so I gotta do something. So yeah,
Just commit.
fun.
Yeah, our friend Andrea Martin always talks. She always calls it put your shoulder behind it. Just make a commitment and go for it. I love that phrase.
You just gotta go for it.
Okay, so before we go, Patti, and her lovely husband are going to be doing a concert a week from Sunday.
Don't worry, it won't be from here. It'll be from upstairs.
They're gonna let you out of the bunker. I'm so glad.
I know. I hope so. I hope this door opens. I don't know. My husband might be happy upstairs without me.
Can't. So I thought if people don't know you and Colin, I have a clip. This is when you were super PG when we first began doing Stars in the House way back in March.
I was
and you and Colin, so cute. You and Colin appeared together. When did you finally give birth? I can't remember. April?
July 14th. Yeah. So it was, yeah. It was probably 4 months after. Yeah.
So this is you recreating a song from Frozen about the pandemic. And it was so early in the show, we didn't know how to get rid of comments on the screen. So there's a comment about a dog for like a full 2 minutes.
It doesn't go away.
We didn't really know how to get rid of it yet because we didn't know what we were doing. All right, here we go. You guys sound so cute.
Here we go. Okay, this is like super crazy what's going on, right?
Super crazy.
I mean, all this month has been a series of doors in my face. No more concerts, Broadway sporting events.
I was thinking the same thing, because, I've been searching all this time to find my own space. Somewhere far away from people for my immune defense.
But with you,
I'll see your face.
I'll see your face.
On FaceTime, Zoom, or from 6 feet or more. Because love's not an open door. Love's not an open door. In quarantine, love's not an open door.
With you,
or you, love's not an open door.
Seriously, stay inside. Go out to exercise.
Please,
don't
stay inside or alone. Here's the new rules.
What?
Don't finish each other's
sandwiches.
So many germs are lurking there.
Wipe your cart down after grocery shopping, please.
Jinx,
stay away.
Our mental synchronization, great for social isolation.
You
and I
will not get COVID. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye to your loved ones for now. Not forever. Soon we'll all be healthier than before. Because love's not an open door. Love's not an open door. COVID-19. Love's not an open door.
With you.
Or you. Love's not an open door. Can I say something crazy? Will you wash your hands with me?
Can I say something crazier? As many times as you want.
Hey, that was so good.
That's awesome.
That was when I thought it was going to be 2 weeks. And we were this is quarantine. And now we're still here again.
You two could sing that on your show with Seth next week, and it would be completely still valid.
The most relevant.
Right.
Yeah, it's so. Don't you feel like that was 6 years ago?
Yeah.
We were
Yes.
so innocent. We were so innocent back
We were
then.
innocent.
Yeah, we got to hang on for another 2 months. Hey, Kara, I'm going to send you one more.
One really special.
People watch this show. Yeah, they watch the show all over the world.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay. Finn in Melbourne, Australia, $25. I absolutely love Wicked and would love for my donation to be read out loud. Much love to everyone on the show tonight. Thank you, Finn.
What's it like in Australia where you can see people?
I know.
Yeah, really.
I'm literally watching them. I'm watching them put up Frozen right now down there, and it's like I'm so happy about it, but it feels so. It's like a little bit depressing, you know, because you're like, they can do it. Why can't we?
Yeah, but Patti, you're in a beautiful room right now. Anyway, okay, we're gonna downer.
I think you're winning.
It looked like you're Kerry Washington in that part of Scandal when she's like
Kidnapped.
right?
Yeah.
Kidnapped.
I do my best work here.
That whole crazy kidnap season.
Yes. Okay. You guys, this was so much fun.
So much fun.
Oh, and by the way, the E that Kristen would add for me at the end of the opening number, Wicked.
Yeah. Not a no.
Close.
Not,
She had
I
no
don't
problem
have
doing it. So when you go back the next time, Erin, the third time, you'll add the E for me.
The next time, yeah, I don't know.
Mercy, but
Erin can do it.
Horrible.
all right, so
None of us sang that part. We were either sinking down, and I was sinking into the thing, or there was a whole nother thing happening at that very last note. So none of us sang that note.
can't do a whistle tone. Tuesday,
we have plays in the house on Monday.
Oh.
Check out our website. Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday are all
Thanksgiving themed, celebrities, cooking shows, everything. Peace out. Thank you, Glindas, for being here. I better play some close.
Thank you.
All right, what are you gonna play, Seth? Thanks, everyone. Have a safe weekend.
How do I play Wicked? My pedal's not working. And then to be mean, take it up a half step.
Oh.
I'd rather try to find. That is so mean.